Well, good morning, everyone, or afternoon, evening, depending on when I get this up. It is Wednesday again, and I have a few items to share. And I come to you today with a very sad heart. So forgive me if I don't seem my usual chipper self, but we are going to try and stay cheery. I still have not made it to Walmart. And I am down to crumbs. I mean, crumbs on my polyfill. And I need the toolbox to put all my hardware pieces for setting up. And I have an idea. I need to go to Dollar Tree on the shelves because I have one more practice before my big market on the 16th. That has to happen today. I don't want to wait too long, and I have a desktop full of plushies that I have to price. And I know I said I was going to price as I go, but I also said I would price them before they got put in a tote, and they're not in a tote. They're just like this big mountain on the top of my desk. That is why we were out here, because it's getting really high. Plus, I was gathering things together to send to the dungeon. And when I go to Walmart, I'm going to take some things with me, but I need to go in and take a look for myself. So I need that visual to see, what do I need? How much space do I have? You know, with Christmas coming up, I would like to give them a decent amount of inventory, but I need to know what I have to work with. Then I had a few happy interruptions this week. Toothless has found its forever home. And if you don't remember what Toothless looked like, I'll pop a picture in for you. I was thrilled to death that somebody wanted that. All that work. I mean, being black, it made it seem like a lot of work, more than it really is. Then also one of my manatees that was a Teresa's crochet shop pattern. I can talk, it's just a little tongue twister. One of those sold. So it is in today's mail and on its way to its forever home. And I'll pop in that picture here in case you don't know which one I'm talking about. And then I have an order that I needed to fill, and they needed to be made after showing all from Jade's Sea Life car hanger package last week. I mean, I only had 4, I think, or 5 of them. I hadn't made them all yet. Someone wanted one of each of all of them. So I got that finished. And I did much better. They all hang properly this time. It was all me. Nothing to do with the pattern, of course, because, you know, Jade is good. I kind of overstuffed them a little bit. That's why they were leaning forward. These all sit just fine. They work out just fine. So I still need to make 3 more cats. I wanted a minimum of 6 of the tuxedo cat. So I have 3 now. So I want 3 for the Friday night market, just in case. And if those all sold, I wanted to be able to have at least 3 more for the Saturday morning market, which is the very next day. So there's no time to crochet, to make any more. So I need those made in advance. But I don't want to get bored with the pattern, so I have to break it up. And, you know, like I can make the cat and then make some smaller items in between. Or stay away from new patterns for a little while. Concentrate. Do what you know you need to do, which I feel like is a ton. But yeah, I have to break it up. I can't sit there and do back to back. black and white cats, or the black will just make me nuts. So one pattern you've seen already. Well, actually 2 patterns you've seen already. These are new. I know. And then the car hanger order. So first off, we have the tuxedo cat. So like I said, this gives me a total of 3. In this one I gave green eyes. So we have him done, and he has the black belly. I decided for sure, because the way he sits, there's no sense in trying to give it the white belly because it's not going to be seen because it sits like this. So this makes 3 of the tuxedo, 1 calico, 1 Siamese, 1 gray and white, and 1 that's a kind of a coral color. So that's 7 cats total, but I want 6 of this kind. So we did that. Then it's like, okay, let's change it up. So at the last market, I sold out of, and mind you, I only had 1 left of my possum. And I sold out of bees, and mind you again, I only had 1 left. I have not made any bees. Not a big fan of the bees. So I busted out my possum pattern. And don't you know, I had to mess it up. I grabbed, 2 things happened, and both of it was with the eyes. First off, I grabbed the wrong size eyes. So they're way too big. And I know you guys love big eyes, but for this, to me, they look silly. And then I put them in the wrong row. So, but he's still going on the table. So I have this possum, which is my pattern. It is a no-sew pattern. It's made all in one piece. You start with the tip and just work your way back to the tail. You can do the feet in pink or black. And then I go back and embroider the nose because you start with 4. Starting with 4 is hard enough without having to do a color change after you do 4 in your magic circle. So, yeah. So this guy with his big goofy eyes. And then I started a second one. And I got the right size eyes because they got little beady eyes. They don't have big eyes. And these were put in the right round. So I used the Michaels Sweet Snuggles Light and Home Slim to make these so that they would come out a little bit bigger. My other ones are really tiny, and you know what? I have one over here. Let me grab it. And after looking at this one, I realized I skipped a step. I forgot to put the little, the fur triangle thing. So this one I can't sell because I forgot to put the eyes in. I guess I could do it like that. And, but just to show you the size difference in these, Parfait Chunky versus the Home Slim and Sweet Snuggles Light. So, but yeah, I guess I could just do it like that, like it's got little sleepy eyes. Maybe I'll do that. And I'll try it like that. So I did those after the tuxedo cat, and then I got the order for the car hangers from All From Jade. And these, I have them in a box. These turned out so much better because I did not overstuff them. And the person wanted one of each style. So I had the opportunity to make the ones that I did not make from before. All of them except for the axolotl. And then of course I just picked what color swing to put with them. I used the colors that were recommended in the pattern. So the first one that you make is the axolotl. And like I said, it hangs so much better now. Fluff his little gills out for you. It hangs so much better now because I did not overstuff. So much fluff everywhere. But I did purple. And because I was going to do the swing in green, I gave it green eyes. I think it looks really cool with the green eyes. So we have the axolotl. And then I can't remember the order. There's 8 of them. I think the frog was next. So he got a green swing, and see how much nicer he sits because I didn't overstuff. And then her little mallard, which I have already a mallard pattern, but I do kind of like hers. I think it's just a little bit taller than the other pattern, but it turned out nice. And a penguin. This one I didn't do last time. I didn't do this one or the mallard last time, or the turtle or walrus. So the little penguin, of course it's done in black and white, and then it says to use colored eyes because the eyes go in the black part. So because he had orange beak and orange feet, I decided to give him orange eyes. I think he looks very, very cute. I'm going to end up having to make one of these for my own car. I'm just not sure which one I like best. Well, I know which one I like best, but I'm not sure which one I want to put in my car. So then there was the otter, and he is sitting much better now, with the exception of all the loose fluff. Nice and straight on that swing. Don't overstuff them. I am a firm stuffer, and these you do not want to overstuff. Next up is the seal. And he's sitting much better in his swing. Now I kind of picked blues, like for the seal and the otter, you know, water. For the swings. This one is actually my favorite. And I think what I'm going to do with this one is it gives you an option of sitting or standing. But if this was done in Sweet Snuggles or Bernat, I think the seal would be cute on its own without the swing. So you got the seal. And then the turtle. And he sits just fine on his swing too. Now, out of all of them, I think the turtle was the hardest. Only because it's put together differently so that the face is facing you. And, you know, it looks like it's on a swing. Not super fond of the colors. I think I would rather do not a yellow belly, but like I said, I was following the pattern colors, and some of them she's like Honey Bunny, some of them were Parfait Chunky, and I have Parfait Chunky. I'm not paying $10 for Honey Bunny, even though I do like the yarn. I just am not paying that much for a skein of yarn, not for 131 yards. So we have the turtle, and the last one that was on the list in the package was the walrus. And it is pretty much very similar to the seal. Except it's got the teeth and of course the colors. Now, don't you know, I'll let Parfait, a huge order that, you know, the last 4 orders that I've had, I had no chocolate, so I had to use espresso on this part. So it looks a little darker than it should. Not bad. So he's got his little tusks and everything. And he also got a blue swing because water. But yeah, they sit a whole lot better this time. So I had that. Then last week I was showing you, you know, the dinosaur and the egg and the walrus. And I had said I had bought a 3rd pattern from Chastity and Designs. And it's a Christmas pattern. I got it because I wanted Max. But when I started Max and saw the size of the leg, I was like, nope, this is going to be a lot of work and a lot of sewing for a little bitty thing. So I stopped after the first leg. But I also wanted to try the Grinch. Now, I very much like Wonder Crochet's Grinch. And of course, I make my own face on it. I don't use her scary face. I use a more happy Grinch face, like after he got his heart. So, but I wanted to find one that was quicker. This was not quicker, but it wasn't hard. But I do like Wonder Crochet's pattern better. So we do have this one. Wonder Crochets, you have to sew on the head. This one, you sew the hat in place, which you would on Wonder Crochets too. You don't have to, that part is optional. And then the only other part that you're sewing on is this little white strip right here to make his jacket look like he has a jacket. It has an option of doing the feet like he's got boots or something on. I chose not to because like it said to do it in red, and I know I'm the one making it, and I could have done it in black because Santa has black boots. His boots are not red. But yeah, so I did the face different, and it kind of looks like a little, I don't know, reminds me of a poodle. Kind of a face to it, but he's a happy Grinch. This Grinch has already found his heart. So he's happy and he's got a sweet face. He won't scare any kids, but he's just a happy Grinch. Now, of course, I didn't have the right kind of eyes to use. All the eyes I have, and I don't have the right kind. So this one got colored eyes instead of, I think it wanted an 18 millimeter like black safety eye. My biggest is a 16, and 16s would have looked way too small on here. So I think I went up to a 20. Maybe, might just be 18s. And it's kind of a greenish blue on the eyes. But I think he turned out cute. That'll probably be my only one for this season, especially since I'm getting low on this green. I can't win on the yarn colors. Then I had one last thing that I made, and I did 3. And this one is a Madeline Mako pattern, and I really enjoy her pattern. She has some really cute ones that are quick, they're easy. She pretty much sticks to no sew, but sometimes, you know, you need to sew. Sometimes the sewn ones just look nicer if it's not a lot of sewing. So if you're a Patreon member, you get this pattern for free. Otherwise, it's in her Christmas bundle. She doesn't advertise it because, you know, it is a Grinch and technically we're not supposed to be making them. But I like the Grinch. And if you remember, I tried a freebie pattern and it was like the homeliest Grinch I've ever seen. So, and I think a lot of that had to do with color. And then, of course, his face. I could try to redo his face, but I think the color was really not proper for it. So these I did out of the Premier Chenille Brights. And it's a baby Grinch. Now this one was the first one. And of course, the first time we do a pattern, our tension seems to be a little tighter. I noticed this because the other has a bigger head, same amount of rows, but a bigger head. So my tension got looser once I was comfortable with the pattern. And I redid his face a couple of times. I redid his face a couple of times because I couldn't quite get it. But it's a baby, so I didn't want it to... At first, I was trying to make it look like my Grinch face that I put on the bigger Grinch. But then I'm like, it's a baby. It doesn't look right. So there's this one. And this one. And this one. So there are 3. And see the difference in the head size? That's just, it's all tension. All tension. So one skein of this, I think it's 109 yards. You can get probably 2.5 of these out of the skein. Because I started off with using a piece, you know, it was left over from my chunks. And I had to get into another one to finish it. And then out of that same thing, and I was almost to the top. I was like really close to the top on the other one. So that same skein made these 2. Plus I have a little bit more, which I figure I could probably get the arms and maybe part of the body. So probably 2.5 out of a 109 yard skein. And that's with doing these with a 6mm hook. But these are cute. So I'm thinking, they don't take long if you're not distracted watching TV. Thinking maybe 15 on this. And I don't know, 25 to 30 on this one. Not sure. I think 15 would be a good price for these. I mean, because using the brights, it made it a decent size. If I would have used Parfait Chunky, it probably would have been about this tall. And then it's not worth the work. So, those are my makes. And so I need to go to Walmart, get the polyfill, stop at the dungeon and see for myself what is left, especially with the chunks, because I know I've sold like 8 of them, I believe. So I need to know which ones are missing to know which ones to replace. And I got word that the purple dragon sold up there. So I want to send some baby dragons. The turtles I sent up there sold, so I want to send some more turtles. My axolotls sold, I want to send some more axolotls. And I have 1 loaf cat left in there, so 2 of those have sold, so I want to send a couple more loaf cats. That I know of for sure, but I need to visually see what is there to know what I can do and know how much space I have. You know, with Christmas coming, I think they should let me put some stuff in there, because I think we both could make money. They could and I could. So yeah, so I need to add this part onto these. That's probably why they don't look quite right to me. And maybe those big eyes won't look so goofy if he's got his little thingy there. And 3 more cats. If I get nothing else at all made, 3 more cats. But you know I'll make other stuff. I have to. It's in my blood. I have to. All right, you guys, I am going to go so that I can put this stuff away and I can head up to Walmart and the dungeon and get that stuff taken care of. Because it's, as long as it's on my mind, it's going to just eat away at me. I need to get it taken care of. So, hopefully, we'll see you Sunday in the next video.